So I was sitting there thinking, I can't be the only one who feels like fried fish is only good when it goes with a piece of loaf bread and a side of mustard. Hey, listen, I'm from the South, and so, my grandmother was the queen, and we called her queen. She was the queen of good food. I mean, she just knew how to put stuff together. And she introduced me at a very early age to a piece of fried fish coming hot out the grease, landing on a piece of white bread, loaf bread, and then with a little bit of mustard on the side. And that was it. It was everything. And look, I mean no disrespect to my hot sauce people and my tartar sauce people, cocktail, whatever it is you like. I'm not trying to knock any of that. I know all of that hit too. All that's good too. But I can't be the only one that know about that white bread in particular, but that piece of loaf bread, when that grease just still hot on that fish and it soak up into that bread. And then you got that mustard on the side. I mean, I'm talking about, y'all, listen, I'm gonna tell you how deep it was for me when I was younger. It was so deep that had I been one of the ones out there when Jesus, fed the 5,000, he had the few fish and a few loaves. Matthew, I think it's chapter 14. And, I would have been one of the ones that would have kind of crept up alongside him and is like, hey, man, listen, I got a jar of water and a mustard seed. Can you make me some mustard? I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta have some mustard. What do you need? What ingredients do you need to make mustard? Can you do like you did with those loaves of fish and give me some mustard? Because that's gonna top this out. But ain't that crazy how we can be? The flesh is never satisfied. I'm telling you. I mean, got this good fish and good loaves, but I need some mustard. And I'm sure some hot sauce people, tartar sauce people would have been wanting some extra stuff to go along with it too. But that's crazy how we can get, because once again, the flesh is never satisfied. No matter how much God provides for us and blesses and blesses and blesses, it's always, God, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately, God? And it's crazy that we have that mindset with things. It is. And just being honest 100%, when it comes to myself, like I have to catch myself sometime and be like, wait a minute, bro, like God is really blessing. Like, yeah, the mustard would be good, but man, look at this good fish and this good loaf, this good bread. Sometimes you just need to just thank God for the blessings that you have. I mean, listen, I love the fact that, we have our differences in things, because had I never been turned on to that, I wouldn't have known how good it was. So don't knock it till you try it. I know there might be some people out there like, nah, I gotta just fish and just hot sauce for me and that's it. I don't even like mustard. Try it first. Just try it. If you don't like it, hey, keep it moving. That's cool. But you gotta at least try it, But it's just something how when I look back on things, I just think about it's the simple things coming up. Like I thought about the simple stuff. We didn't have a whole lot of, different stuff. A lot of times when we had meals, even at the cookout, like, you had your ribs and your chicken and fish. And for some people, that's like, yo, that's an elaborate meal. And for us, it was everything. And then sometimes you just had the basic hamburgers and hot dogs, and it was still a good time. It was still a good time, and sometimes it was barbecue involved. Sometimes it wasn't barbecue involved. But I remember when my grandmother turned me on to that fish. Y'all, some of y'all might be crazy. Listen, y'all could be crazy. You're wrong if you're thinking that mustard don't hit with that fried fish. I'm telling you, that thing hit right, But I don't know. I guess I'm just in that frame of mind where I'm just like, man, I cannot be the only one that know about this here. I know there's some other ones out there. There's some other ones that could testify to the same thing, that that it's nothing like that good old fashioned white bread with a good old fried piece of fish and some nice. I like my mustard cold. I don't know. Some people might be all right with warm mustard. I don't really do warm mustard like that. I like it just a little bit of chill on my mustard. I don't know what it, I guess because the fish hot and then, so the mustard kind of cool it a little bit that was my thing. I wanted it to be just have a little chill. Reach in the back of the refrigerator, and find that mustard with the crust on the top. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know which mustard I'm talking about. That mustard with the crust on the top, that it's been in there for a little bit, but it's still good. It's been marinating in the back of the refrigerator. And when you open it up, you gotta either peel the crust on top or you gotta squeeze and let that crust blow off. And then boom, that good mustard flow out of there. Now you gotta shake it up first, because if you don't shake it up first, the drip on there, it's the drip. You gotta make sure that the contents has been shook up so that everything can mesh back together nicely, blend back together nicely, and give you that nice squeeze of mustard. Otherwise you got the liquid part settle at the top. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. That come out, that just sog your bread and your fish. It just make you mad. And that's the only thing that I eat mustard on. Is the crazy thing about it. Like I can eat it on a hamburger or hot dog. I can, but I prefer it only when I have that hot piece of fish, and I just, in thinking about it once again, I just think about how we can have the things that we need, but it's something about the want when we want something. And in the midst of that, I think it's important that we understand the real importance of making sure that God is blessed with us being a blessing in our thought process towards him. And that's thanking him every step of the way for everything. There are some wants always. We're people. We have human nature. We're always going to want something. But at the end of the day, we have to thank God and be thankful to God for what we have. And that's our needs, our basic needs are met, So we got to thank God for the loaves and the fish. And if by chance we can get some mustard, little beans and slaw, be good too. I'd definitely be good too. But hey, if nothing else, if we can at least get that mustard or your hot sauce or your tartar sauce, whatever floats your boat, and some of y'all might have some other weird combinations, you throw it out there. I don't know what they are. I'll check back when I can actually check the comments and see. I'm anxious to see what other kind of combinations folk got. But I can't be the only one that know about that good old mustard and that good old loaf bread. Yeah, with that hot fried fish. I can't be the only one. There's got to be some other witnesses out there that can testify. But I also can't be the only one to know that God is good and that we need to be thankful for everything that we got while we got it, and be thankful while we got the chance to be thankful, and enjoy it while we got the chance to enjoy it. It's a lot of stuff going on in our world, y'all. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's the little things. It's the small stuff, that make a difference. It's the small memories, that surface back up and make me think about people like my grandmother that I miss so much and wish that I could just share one more piece of fried fish with a side of mustard. But hey, I'm thankful for the memories. I'm thankful for the good things that she instilled in me, and not just her, but of course my dad and so many others that God has placed in my life, that came into my life and blessed me, and then, went on to be with the Lord. And so I still have those blessings that I take with me. And I try to make sure that I don't get wrapped up in the unsatisfied flesh, because it's never satisfied. It's just not. It wants to consume, and that's all that it wants. And it wants what it wants. It is on a want basis. There's some needs for the flesh too, but very seldom does the flesh just focus on needs. No, the flesh wants what it wants. That's why we got to be careful when we expose ourselves to things that we ain't got no business exposing ourselves to, because then you create another want for the flesh. And now you got something else you got to deal with. Another habit you got to contend with. That thing gets hard. That gets tough. That gets tough. something I try to teach the little ones, and anybody really that I can talk to on that level, that have received me on that level. I say, listen, man, if you never try it, you'll never need it. And sometimes we say we need it, but really we just want it. So before you go down that street, just make sure that that's the direction you need to go in. And, that's something that I think can speak to, a lot of things in our lives, a lot of things, a lot of stuff. But God is good. Go get you this weekend. You could find a place to get you some good fried fish. And, if you got to take the loaf bread in there with you, if you got to take the white bread in there with you, if you got to stop and get you a loaf of bread and take you a couple slices in the restaurant with you, and make sure you tell them, pull that fish out, the grease hot, and put on plate, bring it to me as quickly as possible so I can wrap it in this bread and make sure I got some mustard so I can see what this brother was talking about. And then testify. Let me know. But then also let me know how God is reminding you of just how good he is and how wonderful the simple things are when we just put our mind to it. Anyway, till next time, I can't be the only one. Peace.